Pisces, we are going to do a reading for you. What a crazy bunch of shit that is going on. Hulk Hogan died this morning. A couple of mornings ago, Chuck Mangione, the badass trumpet player, passed away. Before that, the night before that, Ozzy passed away. Somewhere in here, Malcolm Jamal Warren. Sorry, I didn't know he was a musician as well. Okay, I do remember seeing him on the Cosby Show. Then he was on Malcolm and Eddie. Read Between the Lines. Suits. Oh wow, he was in Suits. I've heard a lot about that show. I have not started watching that yet. It sucks, man. My condolences to all these people. I did not know every one of them, their work. I definitely knew Hulk Hogan's work. I grew up watching wrestling. I was not a New York fan. My guy was Ric Flair because I grew up in the South, so I grew up on Southern wrestling, and Hulk Hogan was Northern wrestling because he was in WWE and he was in AWA, which is Minnesota. So unless you grew up on this side of the hemisphere, your guy was probably Hulk. I did not realize who Hulk was, really, until Rocky, and I loved his character in Rocky. He did a really good job of that, and that's actually what got him. I mean, the whole story about that, but you just think about this. The guys back then, when he started out, they were not pussies. They were tough. You had to be a tough motherfucker to be a wrestler back then. You had to be a legit shooter, and Hulk wasn't. And so one of the stories about him is that when he was in Japan, Hiro Matsuda broke his leg to get him to run him out of the business because they wanted to run him out. That's how they did you back then. That's what I'm saying. But you had to be a tough motherfucker. And he overcame. He stuck with it. And he became the biggest known professional wrestler in the world. Not just America, but all over the world. Everybody knows who that man is. He really created a brand. He was not a good wrestler, to be honest with you. Anybody in the business will tell you that he was not he could not do anything other than he had a few moves, the big fucking leg drop, which cost him dearly. Doing that big old fucking leg drop ruined his spine. He had so many surgeries and shit, but that's all because of doing that big leg drop that he did. He jumped up and landed on his ass. Well, fuck, he's, plus 200 to 300 pounds, 6 foot something frame. It's no wonder that he was in so much pain and shit, and then all the shit with his son, killing that kid in a drunk driving deal. I mean, he went through a lot of shit. Some people say that he was a racist. That is not true. The guys that say he's a racist, which I know who they are in the business, and I can tell you this, those guys that say he's a racist, everybody's a fucking racist that does not promote them because they're of Latino descent. And I'm sorry, but I don't go for that. Because everybody's on that list. If you don't fucking put them over, you're a fucking racist. And I know people like that, and that's not cool. You don't have to blame race on everything. Besides that, Hulk, I just heard a story about this. Hulk was one of the only people. There was an old wrestler, Kamala. His real name was, I forget what his real name was, but he was just a Louisiana boy, cotton farmer. He did not know anything. Somebody knows his name, I know, but he came into business and he was making money, man. He was bringing the wrestling area's money because it was a huge gimmick, He would dress up like he was from the Uganda and shit. And anyway, Terry Hulk told the promoter, hey man, you need to fucking pay him some more money. He needs to get more money. He can barely fucking, you're paying him, he's starving, you know? So, people always say somebody's racist, but I think you would have to have a lot more than that. He worked with a lot of people, Junkyard Dog, Booker T. I don't believe that he was a racist, but whatever, man. People make mistakes, people fuck up. Maybe he did. I don't know, but he definitely knew how to market his brand, and he did it very well. His kids, his progeny will still be receiving checks for a long time. You know, hopefully he took care of legal things before he passed. I'm sure he did. He was smart. He was not stupid. He definitely was not a stupid man. Ozzy, I grew up listening to Black Sabbath and Ozzy, and I love some of the music. Some of it I don't. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it's pretty negative in my opinion, but hey, to each his own. I definitely like Bark at the Moon and some of that stuff. There was some definitely great musicianship that has happened throughout the years with Jake E. Lee and Randy Castillo, badass drummer. I mean, man, he's had a lot of good people come through his brand, you know. And then you got Chuck Mangione. Oh my God, that frickin' Feels So Good song. That is like, I remember hearing that when I was like, I don't know, 5, 6 years old. And I heard that Feels So Good song, and I fell in love with jazz instantly. And you listen to that song, and I'm going to tell you, you go and listen to the guitar licks in the middle of that track. Fucking precise. Mathematically perfect. And if you're a guitar player, you know what I'm talking about. He's doing all kinds of little trills and quadruplets and shit, little licks, you know, that he's playing. And the drums are so fucking tight in that song, and the bass, and just the incredible stacking of horns that Chuck Mangione brought to the table. It is unbelievable. That is an unbelievably great sounding track, and it holds up year after year after year. Even the recording itself, it sounds like it was just recorded yesterday, you know. What a crazy week, you know, to lose 4 big people like that. It just shows that we don't know how long we got. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Now, they probably knew, like Hulk in his age, we knew he was in the hospital and stuff like that, you know. But for it to come this quick, you know, and Ozzy, it's just, but the drowning, that's tragic. I don't even know how. I just found out, actually, just literally an hour ago, that Chuck Mangione had passed, and it kind of got missed and all this stuff. But it's crazy. We don't know how much time we have here. And but anyway, Pisces, I hope that this message finds you and finds you well. Couple of things. Tarot does not tell the future. Get that out of your mind. If you were taught, or every time you hear something about tarot, because this is what I hear. When people find out that I read tarot, the first thing they ask me, can you tell me the future? And the answer is no. Tarot cards cannot tell you the future. Get it out of your mind. That's one of the biggest misconceptions, and that's one of the biggest problems, is people think that this is some kind of magic or something. Let me ask you something. I've had people attack me and telling me that I'm in the occult. What do you think you're doing every time you go to Google and you put in something? You are divining. You are asking a question. You really think those people in the Old Testament were talking about anything like that? What was going on back then? What were they really talking about? What were those people doing? They were divining on how to get away from God. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to divine to get to God, to get to some answers. And these are really just answers that be like going into Google and putting in a framework instead of, Microsoft 405 framework, net, whatever the hell they call it, net 4.5 or whatever it is now, and putting in a language code, a computer code. We're putting in some different parameters, different situations, these cards representing different situations. We're feeding into it a query, a set of questions, 10 questions to be exact. And based on these parameters, we're going to brainstorm, okay, to try to get to some type of resolution on what we're going to do and what kind of choices we're going to make. And we're going to do it objectively, because I'm not going to be responsible for what you do. And a tarot reader should not, and you shouldn't put a tarot reader in that position to where you are taking what a reading is saying and going crazy and going and doing some crazy shit. Okay? So with all that being said, let's do a reading for the sign of Pisces. 3 more shuffles and let's begin. 1, 2, and 3. All right, Pisces, I'm not going to lie. This is not going to be an easy reading for me. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. And anyway, let's take a look at this. Underneath the whole reading here is somebody, and I gotta be honest, this could be you. You may not feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel independent. Now, you may be independent. You actually may have money, but you don't feel safe. You don't feel secure with that 9 of Pentacles underneath the reading. And where you are at this time, 8 of Cups, that's where you are right now. The position that you are in is you are walking away. You are either having to walk away, or you just feel that that is the only way, is to walk away and leave these emotions behind, these other cups. Now, Pisces, the potential challenge is justice. The legal system can be a Libra that you're dealing with. We are in Libra season. But justice can come in many forms. It is the balancing of the scales being done by the divine. Some people might say the universe is straightening something out, whatever you want to call it. But it is things being made right, something that makes sense, and something that is ultimately just, which means there must be something that is unjust. You cannot have one without the other. If you have evil, then there must be good. And there's something about this being a challenge. Now, if that wasn't extreme enough, underneath in your subconscious, there is something that you are hiding, possibly with that Sun card in reverse. There is something that you are not seeing, that is not visible to you, or option 3, you feel like you are in the darkness, and in your hopes and fears, it may have to do with these cups. Now these cups, you've got all kinds of different options and choices, they call it. And there's something about darkness. I don't know what it is. I'm just reading the cards. Don't blame me. I'm not saying you're doing something in darkness, but it means there's something in your subconscious that's not seeing something, and it has to do with all these options and choices possibly. I feel like when you don't have the light, you have this darkness, and it's not always that it's something evil, although I'm not going to lie to you, it may be, and I'll tell you why in a minute here. But in the recent past, there was a decision, a crossroads that you came to, or you got put in this position to where you had to make a decision of some sort. And when you made that decision, Pisces, you ended up either getting defensive, or you felt like you had to lash out possibly at somebody. And now what lies before you is a legacy that is lost. Ten of Pentacles in reverse is a legacy that has been lost, or can be lost, or is on the edge of being lost, or something like that. But it is a thing of Ten of Pentacles deals with your legacy, what you leave behind, and things like that. And hopefully, in most people, most of us, men especially, I suppose, but I think I hear the same thing from females as well, is that we want lineage, we want grandkids and things, you know what I mean? And so Ten of Pentacles in reverse is like, there's not going to be no grandkids, there's not going to be nothing. What lies before you here with this Ten of Pentacles in reverse, that is the energy, okay? I don't know what it means. Only you know what that means for you. Now, in your advice, the Ten of Pentacles, or Two of Pentacles in reverse, take a look at an imbalance. There is an imbalance. Two of Pentacles in reverse is chaos. You see how in the upright this guy is balancing and what do you call it, juggling these two pentacles. And out here is the water. This is life, and these are boats representing life is going by, and this guy is balancing everything out. And even though there's waves, you know, just like the waves of life, we're not always going to have good times. We're not always going to be in a good season. You know, we lose loved ones, you know. We lose somebody close to us, man, and it can fuck us up for a long time. Shit. But whatever, you know, could be anything. But what in reverse, Spirit says, take a look at something that is chaotic. And that's interesting, because in external influences, there is here this Major Arcana Devil card in the reverse, which means somebody feels like there is something wrong with something. Okay, I don't know what it means. Only you know what it means. But look at it like this. Okay, let me give you an example. You have your lunch with somebody at work or something, and something was said, or who knows, but at the end of it, something's off. Something doesn't feel right about it. And maybe this person feels like there is some kind of toxicity, there is something that is not good about something. All the way to, they could literally feel like there is actually something evil going on in some situation. Now, this is external to you, okay? But somehow this energy is affecting your situation, this person that feels this way. Now, don't get tied up in that it's necessarily about you. It could be about somebody that you are dealing with, and this person that you are dealing with is making you feel a certain way. And you don't even know that somebody is making them feel a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Like my mom used to say, it's not all about you. So sometimes you think something is going on and you think it's all about you and it's actually something else. That's what I'm trying to say. This person, whoever this person is, they think something is wrong with something, or, or somebody that they're dealing with or something like that. And that situation, which could be a toxic relationship, that could be in many forms. It could be a parent-child situation. It can be two brothers. It could be two sisters, a brother and a sister. It could be an aunt and uncle. It could be a family member. It could be ex-lover. It could be people at work. It could be anything. But whatever the hell this damn thing is, it's affecting you, but in an external type of way, okay? In your overall projected outcome, Pisces, this is a temporary reading. This is not forever, but for about the next 4 to 6 weeks, you may feel defeated. Nine of Wands in reverse, you may feel defeated. And so because of that, I don't want to leave a reading like this. We're going to go ahead and get some clarifiers. I'm going to put this Nine of Wands or Pentacles right there. Turn this over. And let's see if we can get, well, something already flipped there. I don't want to take it already, though. Holy Spirit, can we get some clarification on Pisces' overall projected outcome? Or should we start with advice? Let's start with advice. Clarification on this advice. Looking at this imbalance, this chaotic energy. What is this chaotic energy? Ooh. Whatever this chaotic energy is, Spirit says, not me. You guys seen it. Move on to calmer waters. 6 of Swords. Move on to calmer waters. Okay? Clarification on this overall projected outcome for Pisces, please. One more card just to seal it up for Pisces. Put a bow on this reading. My beautiful Pisces brethren and sistren. Wow, that's too many. I can't take all those. Pisces, you are beautiful, sexy, vivacious energy. Sometimes a little stubborn, I'm not going to lie. But overall, Pisces, you're beautiful. You guys seen that card flip over? I don't know what it is. We're going to find out right now. King of Swords in reverse. Do not make a decision. Stand down, Pisces. Stand down. Now remember, over here in your advice, move on to calmer waters. Take a look at this imbalance. Move on to calmer waters. And Spirit says, in your overall projected outcome, you may feel defeated. But King of Swords in reverse. Don't make any decisions right now. Stand down. Everything's going to be all right. If you found yourself getting resonated with this message, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you could be alerted when I upload new videos. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.